Somebody come get 'em. They're too old for TikTok.
Hello, and welcome to Two Olds for TikTok, episode 245. It was a very exciting weekend we had because me and Catalina were together in New York City. Catalina was here for a mere 48 hours to celebrate my birthday, and it was so fun. How was your experience?
I had a lovely weekend. There were a lot of circumstances that tried to keep me both in and out of New York City. Some me, aka missing my flight while at the airport, and some the weather slash Delta, doing its thing. But we persevered. We made it, and we went to the Olive Garden, so it was really worth it. I also enjoyed seeing OG TikTok podcast host Melissa Rosen, who is not only still in New York City, but currently rustling things in the background in Dina's apartment, which makes Melissa us have to keep re-recording the opening.
But Melissa's stranded here because there's a blizzard in New York City, so we have to give sympathy to Melissa.
That's true. And thankfully, I'm not stranded because I did successfully return prior to said blizzard.
Yes, that was very smart of you. But you actually had no way to know. So let's go back to you missing your flight, being at the gate or the gate over. How did that happen?
Yes. So thankful that you asked that question, Dina. So I think that currently I'm dealing with two scenarios. One is which I've overcorrected my anxiety and maybe sometimes could use some. We saw this when I went to yoga after our blizzard in my car and then was like, wait, this was dumb. And we saw this past week when I went to the airport. Was like, yeah, I'm on time. I'm super chill about travel now.
Little chill.
Chill was at the gate that I thought was my gate, sitting there doing my work, locked in because as we know, I also have recently started taking medicine for my ADHD diagnosis, and one thing led to another, and I was waiting for a flight to Detroit, as it turns out.
You love
but
Detroit
you know what?
That much.
The guy rebooked me. He was really nice. I think because I went up to him and was just like, look, man, I'm an idiot. This was on. He was like, you can't board. Like, we're removing the jet bridge. And I was like, no, I know. Like, this is on me.
You weren't a Karen about it. Yeah, you were nice. It was your fault. Yeah, and you admitted fault. Yeah.
And then on the way back to Columbus on Saturday night, people were anxious about getting back because of the blizzard. And my flight, for one reason or another, was delayed. And so that was another scenario at the airport where people were just acting up. People get wild and annoying and just like, I feel for the people working at the airport who have to deal with people's nonsense,
Yeah, there are a million TikTok videos of unruly passengers, unruly people at the gate when there are delays. And I think that's the pro and the con about social media is I would never act up. Not that I would before cameras, but you have to live in a state of fear that you're going to end up on social media if you're acting up at some point in time.
Yeah, this was also just kind of like we live in a society moment where I don't think that people think ahead. I mean, I know this to be true, where people don't think ahead about how your convenience does not mean every part of the system has to bend to your will. So like, there is no doubt that the airlines are fucked and that shit happens constantly, but just seeing people be like, we don't need a flight attendant, and I'm like, my guy, there's something called the FAA. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Stop yelling at these people. We don't need a flight attendant. So yeah, but I think we should talk about the TikTok that you're planning to make based on our Olive Garden experience.
Yeah, the TikTok we're planning to make, and Melissa and I will spend time doing this, is editing the Olive Garden Times Square experience like it's a reality TV show. So this is a big trend on TikTok. I've been getting a ton of videos of that. There's one specific audio that goes with it. Here it is. Our experience at Olive Garden Times Square was perfect. It was everything I expected. The view was great. We had a view of the M&M store. We got salad and breadsticks 30 minutes before we got water, which, you know, I didn't cause a scene, but we had asked for water many, many times, especially because, and this was the consensus, the breadsticks weren't that great. They were dry, so we needed water to, or some form of drink to wash it down.
I have several things to say about, I think, well, let's back up for a second. How many people were we at the Olive Garden?
We were a group of 27 people.
Okay. We were a group of 27 people. So one of my favorite details of this is they were wise to put us in a corner. We were not all at the same table because obviously that is impossible to do. Well, actually it's not obvious, but in the layout, there was no private room. We were in the corner. And so it was, I would say, tables of approximately 10 and then 2 booths, which was a funny experience. The Olive Garden Times Square is, I will say, the New York City's busiest restaurant. I have never...
It's huge. We had to walk. I thought we walked a mile to get to our tables. It was so far away.
So far away. Every seat was occupied. We were being atrocious, but so was everyone else. I felt as though we had the permission to behave in this way. The servers... hats off to them.
Very delightful.
What? They couldn't get us water, but they were doing their darndest to make sure we were having a time.
I've never seen a restaurant drop so many items on the floor and break so many things. There was actually... I can recount 3 things that broke on the floor. One was a salad that fell on the floor that sat there for a little too long. Another was a plate, and I was walking to the bathroom as the plate fell, and I ended up kicking a piece of the glass plate. I mean, it wasn't real glass. It's probably like fake plastic. Who knows? And then a lot of drinks spilled as well.
Were the drinks spilled by us, though?
No. It was all over the restaurant.
I see. I would say that the bathroom was, to me, the most interesting point of that restaurant. And I think it is because I learned that you can just go to the bathroom at the Olive Garden in Times Square. So when you are thinking about the Olive Garden Times Square bathroom, my comparison was the bathroom at Grand Central, but more toilet paper on the ground.
So much toilet paper on the ground. An unreasonable amount of toilet paper covered the ground. It looked like snow. It looked like a blizzard, but with toilet paper.
And we went as a group at one point, and multiple people walked out of the bathroom with toilet paper attached to their shoe wear.
Yes, I did have toilet paper trailing on my foot.
I was going around asking people whether it met, exceeded, or fell below expectations, and almost everyone said met or exceeded at my table. But I think that the different tables were on different journeys, and I might have been on the table that was having the most Olive Garden positive journey.
I'm going to make a video. I went around and asked everyone to rate their Olive Garden experience, and I think the average rating was probably a 6 or 7, so pretty positive all around, not just at your table, actually.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good to know.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Olive Garden. And as I mentioned, my For You page is filled of that trend of people editing things like a reality show. But this one, instead of editing something like a reality show, this one was editing my guinea pig like a horror movie. And it's just scenes of a guinea pig in different places with dark lighting. It's lovely. The next one by Gigi Foodie is editing my mom meeting Damian Lillard like a reality show. And Damian Lillard is a basketball player. Did you know that, Catalina?
No, but he was tall, so I made an assumption.
Yes, and the drama of this video is that the mother could not get her purse off her jacket. It was stuck, so she was struggling very hard before the meet and greet. And the last one was by Whip It with Madison, and it was editing my dramatic dad like a reality show on our latest trip to London. And this dad looks extremely dramatic the way he carries the suitcases. He looks like he's in pain and doubled over a lot of the time. Pretty good visuals there.
I had seen a trend like this or a video of this type, but it was someone editing Heated Rivalry as if it were a horror film, kind of like the guinea pig video, which is always very funny. It really shows you that so many things can happen in the edit. And so if you are watching reality TV and feel a certain way about certain people, just remember the edit.
speaking of heated rivalry, you didn't mention that part of the reason you also came to New York City was Melissa's heated rivalry intervention at Olive Garden.
Yes, and when I was watching the footage of that intervention, rolling it back the other day, aka yesterday, I was dying at the juxtaposition between Ashley, friend of the pod, speaking to Melissa very positively about heated rivalry as a sexual awakening, while in the background, the M&M store billboard flashes. It was poetry. It was art. It was the best thing. And I think that something's going to work really well for your video is that because our group was like spread in such an interesting way, it looks like the entire restaurant is invested in the intervention. So like if we are to edit our intervention video, it looks like at one point like your friends from business school were like staring at us. Obviously they know us, or like someone from your table chimed in. No one's gonna know that those are not just random people. Well, now I guess if they're listeners of the pod, they'll know, but it's gonna do numbers. Probably not, but maybe.
Who knows? We'll see. What's been on your For You page, Catalina?
Well, I got a video the other day from the creator Chad KSP that really just, it spoke to me.
Before you chat GPT your situation, type your situation into Google and put Reddit behind it. I promise your shit gonna come up. And if it don't, you got an original experience and there's nothing we can do about this. You might as well kill yourself.
I love this. I also was kind of surprised that it wasn't taken down. In fact, we should download this sound ASAP because he doesn't say unalive.
Right, he uses the kill word.
Yeah, the kill word. I think that maybe 35 is the year you start using Reddit, because I've become a huge Reddit fan in the past few years. He is correct. Search anything and the word Reddit, and if you don't find it, you are having a unique experience.
100%. I'm not a Reddit user, but Ben is. But during my pregnancy, actually, there's a lot of things you don't know. So anytime I Googled something or symptom or some weird thing that happened, Reddit and thousands of women have been through it. So it's a great resource.
Also, now that ChatGPT has been showing where it sources information sometimes, Reddit frequently pops up as one of the information sources because what it's doing is obviously aggregating the Reddit posts and just condensing it. So love Reddit. Thank you for that very important contribution, Chad. Next up is a user called Fabricatorialist. I'm probably not saying that right, but I think we've talked about how I'm currently in a period where I'm doing a lot of researching on clothing and then looking for it on secondhand markets, like Poshmark and eBay and whatever. And I'm really curious about brands. So this really spoke to me because what he does is evaluates the workmanship of different high-end brands' products. And he talks about like where they're from and also different sewing. And it all is very much from a like Italian tailoring perspective. But this is him evaluating a shirt from The Row.
The Row, and is it worth it? We're getting a shirt that's been made in Italy and that comes without a side gusset. There's no handwork on the cuff or the gauntlet, but you get some uneven stitching in exchange for a price of 1,300 euros. Then we're off to the shoulder seam, which is not very pretty to look at because it has quite a bit of puckering, which is down to the French seams, arguably, which is very labor intensive, and they scored full marks in this department. But they also create quite a bit of bulk and friction, and when they're executed this badly, why opt for them in the first place? You're getting a button shank, which is very nice to see. The stitch density could be better if we're honest here, because 16 stitches per inch on this fabric in particular is not it. But hey, you're getting mother of pearl buttons. Then we're moving on to the underarm seam, where we cannot find a Scotch Monica, because that would have been a massive surprise considering the workmanship on this shirt overall, that this would have been a consideration even. Then the front placket is fine, that's a regular sports placket. There's no horizontally sewn last buttonhole. There's quite a bit of puckering, which some may argue imitates a bespoke shirt, but I doubt that this was intentional. And here's the fabric under the microscope. And despite scoring 6 out of 25 possible points, this is the first in over 80 shirts that scored a flat out 0 in the value for money category.
So The Row,
at
least this shirt.
I've even heard about The Row because it's insane, the prices.
Well, we also just kind of live in a society that everything is about branding and not about the quality. And you hear that brands are high quality, but they're not. So I know that there's a lot of users or creators in this niche on TikTok. I know Claudio, our friend, follows one guy who evaluates leather. And so I think one of the, like, Uniqlo has a really nice leather belt. They talk about, like, the quality of the material itself and the craftsmanship. And I really appreciate that, because when you're investing so much in a product, you're obviously buying the name and the reputation. But the fact is, like, is this a good product? And oftentimes it is
trash.
Not a good product. Trash. Another video that I really enjoyed this week was about Alyssa Liu's win, her Olympic gold. And this is creator ACIGE, doing an impression of Alyssa being interviewed.
What an elegant performance, Alyssa. What do you have to say?
Look, genuinely, I crushed that shit. That was kind of a fire performance. I just kind of went plus ultra on them, but I'm gonna go home and probably just watch Chainsaw Man. Appreciate you guys. Love being a gold medal. Go USA. Figure skating is dope.
As an Olympic watcher, Dina, have you been following Alyssa's interviews?
I have been. All I know about Alyssa is that she prides herself in saying skating isn't her life, which is very healthy. A lot of athletes, I think, are forced into skating or forced into sports, and it becomes their whole life, and their mental health isn't good. So I think she is smashing all of that, and that's why people love her.
So as you know, I have not been watching the Olympics that much. Most of what I've been seeing about the Olympics has been through TikTok, but I did watch her entire performance on TikTok, and I really enjoy watching her be interviewed. It's just like such a Gen Z character.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a caricature of what we expect people from Gen Z to be. But yeah, it's refreshing, and it's fun to see someone. I saw that she had said, like, if I'm going to come back to skating, I'm not going to, like, let you tell me what I'm allowed to eat, and I want to have creative control. And you can really see that in her skating now. So I like that a lot.
I'm very sad the Olympics are over. One thing I enjoyed for the gala skate was the gold medal winner, the guy from Kazakhstan. He skated in a panda suit. It was so cute.
Did the Minion guy make it very far? The Spanish Minion?
No.
To be expected.
Fun.
Yeah. And then the final thing is, since I now use TikTok for product recommendations, because I was realizing that YouTube has been doing this forever, but there's something about the condensed format of TikTok and the search format and the scrolling function that makes me much more likely to use it in a way that I think people were using, like YouTube and Pinterest.
I agree. Yeah, I was never into YouTube or Pinterest, but TikTok, even though very similar, just got to me.
Well, this is also why RedNote is considered elite in comparison to TikTok, because it's kind of like Pinterest and TikTok were combined.
Right.
And when that happens, I'll be very happy. But I've been in the market for a new way to wash my body that is not with a loofah, and through Reddit and TikTok, I have come across a product that is called an African exfoliating net. It is traditionally from West Africa, from my research, countries like Ghana, and they originally were made with like natural fibers, but now they're made with nylon, and they're considered to be a lot more sanitary because they dry easier. But there's also fakes of them, which is wild, because I was like, okay, because I was just like, I'm gonna buy one, and then I started reading about it and was like, there's fakes, and I was like, oh no. So now that I've been researching it, I've been getting so many videos about it.
Well, this is very old. I've gotten these videos like months ago. This was a big trend about the African exfoliating net. Yeah.
That's
I think
so
you
weird.
just recently got on shower TikTok, because you did send a video about 4 or 5 rules of showering.
Yes.
And I was appalled that you learned one of the rules recently, which is that you should shower before you start smelling bad. I thought that was universally everyone knew, but I'm glad you learned that on TikTok.
No, that's not what my approach was. It was that I didn't always shower, and I thought that showering daily, if you didn't smell, wasn't really necessary. But I've now
You've come
been
around.
reminded that it's about hygiene and like disease spreading and prevention.
I'm so glad for TikTok to teach you that.
I'm really
great.
learning every day. And frankly, the amount of information that we consume oftentimes is like
Too
stress
much.
inducing and anxiety
Yes.
inducing. But sometimes I think it's for the greater good. But yeah, so since I added an African exfoliating net, now I'm starting to think I was like like inceptioned into wanting this. But Cece's of New York is really getting me. I might place an order. And I might use the TikTok shop for the
And
first
you can
time.
see that video is like from October, I think. So
Well,
you're
this is
just
because I
coming around.
literally like searched for that one.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Because someone on Reddit was like, I get mine from Cece's.
So our next section we haven't done in a while, but it's our content creator spotlight, and Catalina has been sending me a bunch of their videos. It's a creator, BlivXX, and they work at Staples, and fabulous content because I love Staples. I love office supplies. These videos are very entertaining to me. Here's one about planners.
So divas, we're going on an adventure today because you want to know about planners. You want to talk about planners. My personal favorite, a little pricey, a little bit. These refillable ones are so tea because you can get so many fun like inserts for them, and like they're great. So many different inserts, and they got fun sizes. I love me a mini little notebook planner. Hello. This is the kind of planner I'm currently using because it just goes in my little tiny purse, and like mine's actually botanicals as well. And it's very cute, it's very slay. You can just plan out your whole month on a little page. They're amazing. I love them. Blue sky. Send me PR. I love y'all. Or if you want to get extensive with it, you want to get scientific, we got tabbed ones that are huge, that go week by week. Now onto the specialty planners. We got this one brand, the Bespoke letterpress. They're kind of slay. They're very cutesy. We got like a daily desk note, weekly agenda, more weekly planners. These are very cutesy, in my opinion. I love these. They're very adorable. And you even got like cute little password trackers. And then I bet y'all didn't know Miss Martha Stewart. Yes, Miss Little Tax Evasion. Okay, Diva has amazing planners. Like, they're very cutesy. They're very nice and priced, too. Like, you have a a little planning thing. I've been thinking about getting this one. We have little portfolios. Well, she calls them padfolios. And then something really cool about this one, she has these, like, insertable notebooks with the rings. And you can get little attachments and shit for them. Like, look at that. Ain't that so cool? Don't you want that? This is one of my favorites. I bought this one and this notebook. So if y'all want to match me, get those ones.
Yeah, so people are calling her the Staples baddie. She just works at Staples and maybe is bored. And this is a niche. And what's going on right now, and I'm not sure where it's sort of fallen, is people are like, Staples needs to compensate you. Like, you are putting Staples on the map in a way it hasn't been in a long time.
So she recently posted a video how they sent her some sort of care package. They sent her a bunch of items. I'm sure they should use her in commercials. Like, this is such good advertising for Staples.
So people on TikTok seem to be really pushing for Staples to put her in a commercial or do something or capitalize on the moment in some way. And we do often see that. I feel like this is not related, but the Who the F Did I Marry series, didn't that lady like get a TV show or something after that? So we can see how TikTok will launch advertising campaigns, launch careers, but it really depends on the company. And a really good example of this is J-Lo's now defunct Dalola brand. When everyone was shitting on J-Lo for the orange drink, if you know, you know, that was an amazing opportunity for her to capitalize on the TikTok trend, and she decided not to. And so you never know how things are going to go in the branding.
It was
of it all.
interesting that you used the word shitting on J-Lo because Delolo famously made you shit if you drank it.
I thought you were going to say, like, why would she take something that people were critiquing for and turn it into a branding moment? But I actually think that is an amazing opportunity. In fact, someone we know who worked for her has also worked for another company that recently was getting critiqued for something. Wow, this is so vague. I'm trying not to put anyone on blast. And they turned it into a marketing moment. So it really depends on the company's perspective on matters.
Exactly. I'll be interested to see what Staples does. But they're not silencing her, which is great. Like, I think some companies may have done that, but this is...
I mean, why
great
would
promotion.
they?
I agree. Why she's amazing.
I will say I did recently go to both a Staples and an Office Max. I can't remember which one I got yelled at for going to because we have like priority contracts with the university. We are not, for example, at university events, we have a non-compete clause with Coca-Cola. So we cannot buy anything that is not a Coke product.
No Pepsi.
No Pepsi.
No RC. Yeah.
No RC. No off-brand sodas. It has to be a Coca-Cola product at anything with university funds. And then there's things like Staples. So now I can't remember if it's Staples or Office Max, but I used the wrong one and I got yelled at.
Did you get reimbursed or did they say you
No,
can't?
because this was like a preferred, they're called like preferred providers.
Vendors,
instead of, preferred vendor. Instead
Such an
of, like,
interesting conversation to have. We can move on. Okay, moving on to media. We have one Traitors video by Relationship Pod, and this is Monet Exchange talking about Traitors.
Do they have glam there?
No. Everyone is doing their own glam. Isn't that crazy?
Laura was doing those beats and hair herself?
Yes.
I'm screaming.
Portia Williams. Portia
did that beat her on her own?
on her own. And literally, like, one of the days, I was like, Portia, you are killing the makeup. She was like, baby, before I left there, I made my makeup artist sit down and teach me everything. And so everyone's doing their own glam.
The girls are painting.
I know, which is why I think it's some people won't do it because they're like, I can do my own glam. So it's a big deterrent for some people.
I found this really interesting because when I worked on The Housewives, so basically the housewives would have to get their own glam for the scenes, but for the interviews, we paid for their glam. That could have changed because this was years and years ago. But if you were a first season, you were doing your own glam in the scene work because it was supposed to be like, this is your everyday life. But for interviews, they wanted you to look good, so we would pay for glam. So it's interesting for Traitors that they just have to do their own glam. And they do such a good job. I think every single one of them does a good job. It's crazy.
Well, Ashley, friend of the pod, she and I watched together on Thursday, and we were talking a little bit about this, and she said that she thinks Maura, the Irish one, wears wigs.
That could be possible. I have no idea.
And then also...
And is that why she wears hats? Cover up?
Okay, so Maura, if you don't watch the show, Maura is from Love Island. She's this beautiful Irish woman. I think she's some sort of host or something now. She's like Rob's good friend, which is, a point of issue for her now. We'll see what happens in the finale. But she always is wearing wild hats over like very coiffed hair. And my main question has always been with Traitors, do they wear the outfit at breakfast, change into different clothes to do the mission, and then change back into their outfit? Because that means they're doing glam twice.
They may film it in a different order. That's interesting. Yeah.
It's like they make them do the round table. So what are we doing? The mission the day before or in the morning, and then we're doing fake breakfast, and then we're doing the round table? Like, I just want to know. I want a producer to tell me the order, or someone who was on the show to tell me the order of filming. Because if they're not only just doing their glam, but also doing it twice, that just doesn't make sense.
Twice in one day. Right. But they're all glammed up for the missions. They really are. Their faces look good, but in terms of getting dressed, the order is probably different.
And like certain looks, like Maura will, and that's also why the wigs theory makes sense, because then she can throw the wig back on, and then putting the hat on blocks whatever, like, I don't know when people have to like lay a wig, but it's a whole process.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Loving Traitors. I'm getting less and less Traitors content, but I'm sure when the finale comes around, it'll be back on my For You page.
So much Traitors content. Big fan.
All right. The next section we have is drama talk. Now, Ben's cousin sent this to me. This is really absurd. This video by Brittany.Elizabeth explains it and how appalled she is by a certain content creator.
I'm sorry, this is not brilliant. This is actually disgusting. I'm about to show you guys one of the coolest tricks ever. Say you're traveling and you didn't pack enough underwear, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Every room has like a coffee pot thing in it. Even the other coffee makers were like bruised through. All you do, put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it. You guys, then the hair dryer in the bathroom, you blow dry those bad boys, and you got yourself a cleaner pair of underwear to wear. I did not realize how many people already knew this hack. I learned it years ago from a friend that was a flight attendant, and it's brilliant.
I don't even understand what in your right mind thinks that this would be okay to do, let alone to like share as a travel hack. It blows my mind how humans manage to ruin everything for everyone else. You know, like, you always think to yourself, hey, who was the person who did this crazy thing that now there has to be like a sign that says don't do this crazy thing? You're now going to be the reason why we can't have coffee machines in hotel rooms, and why there's going to be signs about, hey, don't use the coffee machine for anything other than coffee.
The question is, first of all, why wouldn't you pack enough underwear? Number one. Okay,
underwear.
You're in a bind. You don't have enough underwear. Run it in a hot shower. There's laundry. Hot shower and soap. Don't put it in a coffee maker. That's obscene.
I have something to say about the content itself of this video, and then I have something to say about this genre of video. Mm-hmm. About the content itself, that is disgusting. Yeah. And would never occur to me.
How do you think? Yeah, how do you think of this?
Would never occur to me to put something that touched my genitals in a cookware product
that other people use at a hotel.
Well, yes. Yeah. But in terms of the genre of this type of video, this feels extremely like Facebook fear-mongering.
Rage bait. It's very rage bait.
But not just rage bait, because I'm not saying the video the woman made is rage bait, because maybe it is, but it's the kind of thing that you get where it's like, woman in hotel murders donkey, like, you know, like that type of shit that like the sensationalist
it's like,
media,
yeah, we can't have nice things
that then all the people are commenting like it's like clickbait headline. That's exactly what it is. This is clickbait.
Clickbait, yeah.
This is hugely clickbait content, and that's why I am not into it on TikTok, because I don't go to TikTok for clickbait. I go to Facebook for clickbait. And yes, I do click on clickbait. I have been known to click through an entire like photo gallery where every other photo is an ad. But like, so I'm not anti-clickbait. I just don't want it on TikTok.
You don't want it on TikTok. Well, there's another follow-up video by another account. I'm not even going to play it because I don't know if this is real or AI. It sounds like a news voice. I think it's probably AI, but I'm going to say allegedly this woman is getting sued now by hotels, which seems weird. Don't know if that's true, but she's getting sued because hotels have had to give back money for people who have stayed at the same place this woman has because they used the coffee pots.
Stay vigilant. All I'm saying is, on the internet, I know media literacy, we talk about this all the time. Stay vigilant. Obviously, this is not like the biggest stakes issue, but when you start only engaging with this type of shit and you don't corroborate, especially in AI age, Ben's cousin, stay vigilant.
Oh, I don't think she believes this either, but it's definitely entertaining, and I agree.
Of course,
it's
and very much speaks to you and your like sanitary stuff.
But good thing I never use the coffee makers anyway. So.
Oh, I do, and I was like, do I need to stop using? This is the thing where I'm like, I don't want to know. Yeah. I want to live. And my final comment on this actually goes back to the trip, which is I did think of you when I was packing my bag for this trip, because since I was going for 48 hours, I wanted to just bring a backpack, and I thought, how many pairs of underwear would Dina bring?
How many did you bring?
I think I brought one extra. Like, I brought one for each day.
Oh, see, I would always bring two for each day plus an extra.
I knew I was going to work out, so I definitely brought an extra for that day. Okay. I think I brought one for each day, yeah.
Okay, I would have brought more. But that's great. You didn't run out and have to use Ashley, friend of the pod's coffee
maker. But I did write some things on her to-do list, which I love doing as a bit with my friends.
Nice. Okay, the next and last section we have is the Church of Love Fields Report.
You do know it's pronounced tertulia, right? I just want to make sure.
But
you know.
I love to say the
Okay, that's fine.
Churchilla.
I just want to quarterly correct you. Okay.
This is a video by Pete Ballmer Comedy.
All of your friends can be put into one of 4 quadrants based on if they like to gossip or not and if they cause drama or not. First up, we have people who like to gossip and cause drama. These people are witches. They're always stirring the pot, muttering incantations, eating children that wander into their house. They're undeniably exciting, can be a lot of fun to be around, but you don't want to have too many. There's a reason that you usually find witches living by themselves in the middle of the woods. Next up, we have people who cause drama but don't gossip. These people are house cats. They often have a sense of aloofness or superiority about them, but then they'll like knock a vase over and you'll be like, what the fuck was that? And they'll have nothing to say about it. Unlike witches, these people are often not ill-intentioned or mean. Usually they're pretty sweet, pretty friendly, just kind of oblivious, lacking in self-awareness. And most of the time they're a delight to be around, but sometimes their antics can be a bit much. Next up, we have people who don't cause drama or gossip. These people are pastors. They're often just very good people, very at peace with themselves. They could be intelligent, conversational, but at the end of the day, their lack of willingness to wade into anything gnarly makes them kind of boring to be around. And in a few small cases, they got some deep, dark secrets that they are ultimately trying to hide from. Finally, with people who like to gossip and don't cause drama, these people are owls. They like to be removed from it all, just hyper-vigilant, sitting up on their perch, watching everything unfold. And generally speaking, they're pretty quiet and not too communicative unless you're in their inner circle, and then they're very quick to be like, who? And they seem very peaceful at a distance, but make no mistake, they are predators, and if they see some unsuspecting prey from a distance, they will secretively tear them to shreds. Which one of these do you fall into? Vote below.
I think we could bring Melissa in here because Melissa is definitely a witch.
We're all witches.
I don't think I'm a witch. I don't like drama. Here's Melissa. What do you have to say about you being a witch?
I'm an owl.
I think I'm an owl, too.
What is the owl again?
The owl doesn't like drama, but they like gossip.
I think that multiple people in the Tertulia think they're owls, and they're not. And I think you're one of them.
When have I caused drama? I don't think I caused drama.
Oh.
We're going to need to roll the tapes on the intervention. In which we learned an intervention is a movable experience. And the person who is being intervened with can change at any minute.
Well, that's just because I'm a Gemini.
And I'm a Gemini. We have too many Geminis in our lives.
I have no Gemini in my sign, I don't think.
That's why you're the one person who isn't terrible in our group.
Wow, thank you. Such a high compliment. I'm going to bring Melissa back on more often.
The other thing is that when we were debating who's an owl and who's a witch and whatever, someone said, I think it might have been Melissa, said that Ivan's not a witch and doesn't like drama. And maybe it was Cloud. I don't know. Someone said that.
Sam said
they were
that,
wrong.
and then Claudio denied it.
Yeah, Claudio's like, Ivan likes drama.
I think everyone likes low stakes drama.
Low stakes drama is great. I do like low stakes dramas, but I hate causing it. Oh, God.
We're recreational arguers.
Yeah.
But I don't like it when it crosses into like actual fighting.
No.
None of us are pastors, though.
No. But the problem is that I think that our low stakes fighting or recreational arguing to many others seems as if it's actual arguing.
It does get stressful sometimes, yes, because the tone is always like at a million, and it seems like sometimes I do get uncomfortable with it.
I love it. I actually like when we're fighting. I feel like it's really fun.
I know that Melissa comes alive. She was ready to fight at the intervention.
Yeah, I do. I come alive. I get really excited when we have like certain topics that we're fighting about in the group chat. It gives me like a will to function.
Yeah, we can tell.
Okay, well, on that note, thanks for joining, Melissa, and thanks, Catalina. We will be back next week. Bye.
Bye.